Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome on behalf of GADTLC. Good afternoon, good evening, namaste, sat sri akal sabko. I can see principal sir also. Please, Chirag, make Professor Jaswinder Singh and this one log from admin also as co-host. Professor N.K. Chadda, sir has joined. I can't see. Vandana Gambhir. If you can please text Himanshi, keep a tag, Peter.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Dr. Vimal. Good morning, all the participants.
Good afternoon, good evening.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
कई 4 बजे से इवनिंग स्टार्ट करते हैं कुछ पहले.
All right. Good evening to everyone.
Everything is fine.
Yeah.
Because this being a special FTP, I think we should start with a happy note.
Of course.
Good evening, sir. Admin, प्रिंसिपल सर को भी अनम्यूट करो सर. आज थोड़ी टेक्निकल टीम थोड़ा चेंज है. चिराग, धनेश इज नॉट देयर.
हाँ, हो गया
सर.
ओके जी. गुड इवनिंग एवरीबॉडी. गुड इवनिंग.
Good evening, sir.
गुड इवनिंग जी. गुड इवनिंग डॉक्टर वंदना.
Good evening, sir.
Professor Chadha sir is there. I think Professor Ramchandran sir has joined. Professor Dr. Vandana, you can maybe.
Yeah, I'll just check.
Yeah.
Professor Chadda is yet to join.
Okay.
And
Dr. K. Ramchandran sir has joined.
can't see him.
Okay.
in the list. Not yet.
Okay. We have still 5 minutes to go. Yeah.
Yes.
This is the best part of these online FDPs that we are able to start, unless or until there is some technical glitch happening at the user's end. No traffics, no delays.
Yeah.
And before we move further, let me again welcome each and everyone who has joined in this FTP. Thank you for this huge interest you have shown. It gives us more responsibility. And I will also tell that if there are still some seats vacant, we are keeping our enrollments open till late night today, midnight. So today we are making this program YouTube live. And from tomorrow, it will be a sharp closed group. So those who feel they want to inform their friends, someone who has missed out, we still have the time. You can forward today's link to them and then they can join, or through YouTube, we have shared in your group. So the YouTube link can be shared. They can join today with YouTube, and rest other formalities where we'll have the closed group in LMS will be from tomorrow onwards. Welcome and good evening, Chadha sir. Welcome. Chirag, प्रोफेसर नरेंद्र चड्ढा के नाम से सर ने एनरोल किया हुआ है, तो उनको को होस्ट बनाओ.
He is co-host, ma'am. He is co-host.
Sir, now you can unmute, I think. Chadha sir, just right.
Fine.
Yeah, right, sir. We have kept the settings. Otherwise, what happens is in between, then goes on. Right. Yeah.
And Dr. Ramchandran will be joining. soon. I think with the next 2 minutes he will be joining.
Okay, Professor Jaswinder Singh is already here, and
Okay.
Vandana is there. Priya, cover ma'am. She will be.
I think she's not here, you know.
Okay, okay.
And I'm sending a message to Ramchandra to join.
Fine, fine, sir. Yeah.
I think Ramchandra, you are there? No, not yet.
Sir, by what name he has logged in?
I think maybe Ramchandra, let me just call him.
Ramchandra T. Patil, I can see.
No, that's a different
No.
one.
Okay, that will be some participant. Because if we know what name, then we can make a host.
Hello? You are joining by Ramchandran. Which name you are joining? Any idea? Okay, Director DIPR. Okay. So we are just waiting for you. Okay. He's joining as Director DIPR. Director DIPR.
अभी तक तो नहीं आ रहा सर ऐसा कुछ.
So he's joining. He's a moment I'm joining.
Chirag, keep a track beta when he joins.
चड्डा साहब नमस्कार.
नमस्कार. कैसे हैं?
बस बढ़िया सर. Thank you for organizing this wonderful program.
No, sir, it's your program, sir.
This was really the need of the hour.
I hope it will be beneficial to the participants, and I can see there are quite a large number of participants we have.
हाँ जी.
That's good.
कोविड टाइम में सर मेंटल हेल्थ ज्यादा डिस्टर्ब हो रखी है सबकी.
हाँ वो ज्यादा हो रखी है.
Yeah, because when you socialize, then it is still. So we all need to learn these things. So good evening, everyone. Just we are waiting for 2 more minutes. Our chief guest for the event will be joining, and then we'll start. Vanda, you will coordinate with him. Hope he is not having any technical.
Should I call him again? Should I call him?
हाँ जी सर, एक बार कर लीजिए. So meanwhile, everyone who is watching us on YouTube as well, and if you have not registered,
Okay, just waiting. Everyone waiting. Please come. Yes, okay.
Till night you have time to register in this very, very exciting FDP, developing positive mental health for teaching learning environment. And this is an interdisciplinary FDP for all subject teachers. I'm sure this is going to benefit all of us and to improve upon classroom conditions, especially the emotional bonding that we have between the students and teachers, and how at various circumstances we have to be taking the responsible situation and then molding them into better citizens of our country. So in that light, I think this is really going to be exciting, and we are waiting for our chief guest to join. The moment he joins, we'll be starting. So thank you for being with us.
And ma'am, it's a good time to read the introduction. At least participants are writing their names and affiliations in the chat box. It's very interesting to see that people across the discipline have joined the FDP.
Yes.
That's very heartening to see. So yes, you can introduce yourself in the chat box. We are definitely reading the chats too.
I think Dr. K. Ramachandran sir, you have been made co-host. Please let us check your audio settings. Welcome again. Welcome sir, on behalf of Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center. We are delighted to have you here in this inaugural event as chief guest.
Thank you so much. I hope I'm visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, visual. You are visual. Yeah.
Perfect, sir. Yeah, let's go. I think so. Over to you, Dr. Vanda. Let's start going with this inaugural event. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, sir. It's been very long that I'm seeing you, and I'm honored to see you. With this, we formally start this FDP. Let me share my screen also. I hope you all are able to see the screen.
Yeah, we can see.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, a very good evening to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to all of you for this 1-week online National Faculty Development Program, Developing Positive Mental Health for Teaching Learning Environment, which is organized by the Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center of Ministry of Education under Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching Scheme, organized by our only one and only unique SDTP Khalsa College, University of Delhi. This is the picture of Khalsa College. Once you are in Delhi, please visit the college. The college campus is really beautiful. Yeah. It is said that teaching is the profession that makes all other professions possible. With this, I welcome you all to this FDP. Foremost, I welcome our chief guest, Dr. K. Ramachandran, who is the Director, Defense Institute of Psychological Research, DRDO. Good evening, sir. A very warm welcome to you. I would also like to welcome our Professor Jaswinder Singh, Principal, SDTB Khalsa College, Director, Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center of MHRD, SDTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi. I welcome you, sir. I would also like to welcome our FDP coordinator, as well as the resource person. He just does not like to coordinate, he wants to conduct it also, as always. Professor N.K. Chadda, a mental health expert, a pioneer, former professor, Department of Psychology, University of Delhi, and President, ICCA, USA. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
A very warm welcome to the one who coordinates us all, our national coordinator, Professor Vimal Rar, who is the project head and joint director, GADTLC, coordinator, NRC of Chemistry, Chemistry faculty, SDTP Khalsa College, Delhi University. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, dear.
And now a very brief welcome, or I would say introduction of your resource persons besides Professor N.K. Chadda. Professor Priya Kavar, she's right now not with us, but she'll be joining us from tomorrow in the sessions. She's a faculty of psychology in Aditi Mahavidyalaya, Delhi University, having an experience of around 30 years in the area of counseling, has published 2 books, 21 research papers, 60 modules in e-Pathshala. So in absentia, I welcome ma'am also to this FDP. And myself, Dr. Vandana Gambhir, I'll be one of the resource persons. I'm the faculty of psychology at Keshav Mahavidyalaya, University of Delhi. Besides, I also hold a chair position in Ethics and Standard Committee of APCDA USA. And I'm a recognized trainer for Government of India with soft skill corporate behavioral trainings. Of course, this introduction and welcome round will not be complete if I don't welcome all my participants. Without all of you, this event would not have been possible. I warmly welcome all our participants to this FDP. With this, I would now request Professor Vimal Rar, GAD National Coordinator, to introduce you about the GAD-TLC. But before ma'am does that, a brief introduction about ma'am. Professor Vimal Rar is a senior chemistry faculty at SGTB Khalsa College, University of Delhi. She's among the pioneers in implementing ICT in higher education in the country. She has 1 patent, many publications, research papers, books, and more than 500 e-modules to her prestige. Ma'am is a leading women edupreneur in the field of e-learning at national level. She is now heading 3 centers at college, which have national level projects worth around ₹20 crores completed and ongoing. Ma'am is also the principal investigator in most of them, including GAD-TLC and ARPIT in chemistry. Ma'am has co-designed the 4-quadrant module for development of e-modules for e-PG Pathshala projects of UGC for all 77 subjects. Ma'am is actively involved in policy formulation and implementation through various national level committees at UGC and AICTE, including Online Courses Regulations 2018. Professor Vimal has recently designed a template for AICTE, which is being used for writing technical books for all engineering courses as per outcome-based education and NEP 2020. She has been conferred with various awards, including the INSA Best Teacher 2020 award. Ma'am, please introduce us with the GADTLC.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vandana, for the kind words of introduction. Good evening, one and all. Very respected chief guest of the event, Dr. K. Ranchan sir. Very respected Professor N.K. Chadha. Very respected Professor Jaswinder Singh. My very dear colleague, Dr. Vandana, and entire organizing committee member of this team headed by Professor N.K. Chadha, and also at my GADTLC center, and most importantly, all my dear colleagues from different parts of our country who have joined in this 1 week online co-learning journey in very important theme, which is that we are starting this 1 week online National Faculty Development Program, 71st in the sequence, themed on developing positive mental health for teaching learning environment. So beginning today till 31st January, we will be focusing on that. Let me just share my screen. Vanna, can you just stop share?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I welcome each and everyone on behalf of Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center. Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center is a center of Ministry of Education under the prestigious scheme, which is Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teacher and Teaching Scheme, under which we have the mandate for providing various empowerment workshops, webinars, events, faculty development programs, faculty induction program, and they are eligible for career advancement scheme, which is required for the promotion. This center is located at my own very premier institution, Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College, a constituent college of University of Delhi. So I welcome you on behalf of my institution as well as from both Khalsa College and University of Delhi. And at this center, we are seeking blessings from Guru Angad Dev Ji, the second of the 10 Sikh Gurus, in whose name we have kept the center's name, and we are trying to take the empowerment in various forms which is required for our teaching community to make us better teachers for the classroom environment. And ultimately the aim is, once we empower the teacher, entire education system becomes strengthened, and through the students who are coming in these classrooms, we are developing a good society. We have state-of-art facilities in terms of face-to-face training. The center was inaugurated on 1st July 2016 by the then Honorable HRD Minister Smriti Jubin Irani ji. And since then, we are taking this mission further, where the theme is that we are working for faculty empowerment. And not only in terms of various training programs which are professionally conducted, and that's why GADTLC is being recognized as one of the top 3 centers in entire scheme, having 90 centers. And rather, since last 2 years, when we are now on zero funding, then also our programs, and all credit goes to all of you dear colleagues who are reposing trust in us and joining in our programs in such a huge number that we are able to continue our work in this direction. So not only in ICT skills, pedagogy, the blended learning, online teaching, where our entire team has expertise, but we keep on identifying what are the areas where we have to keep on improving upon. And for this particular FDP, especially my thanks to Professor N.K. Chadha sir, who is also one of the member in our advisory committee, and rather my gratitude to entire advisory committee headed by Professor A.K. Bakshi, chairman of GADTLC, We have Professor Bhanumurthy also. And we have Professor Aditya Bhattacharya, Dr. R.P. Singh, and myself and Professor Jaswinder Singh. We are the executive heads doing the ground level work for all of you. So welcome again to on behalf of GADTLC. This team, as a part of, because we have been working at national level from the last 10 years, and with Professor Chadda, I recall we started the journey at national level in EPG Pathshala project, where even the psychology content is one of the 6 subjects that we have contributed. And since then, we are continuing our association. So thank you so much, sir, for designing this program and taking it further. And we have been working in this direction, not only in terms of the core subjects and the requirement, but also with the society requirements, where we have now this cancer fundamental MOOCs, where all of you can enroll. You can tell your student this is a free course at SWAM platform. And also we are having collaborations with various universities. So if any of your university who is getting MOOCs offer trying to prepare online, then we have the technical expertise and know-how and infrastructure where we can help. Like other universities, we have already prepared their ARPIT programs. We had been conducting face-to-face workshops in the entire country, as well as this is our, again, one of the flagship program of Ministry of Education, where we got the opportunity to design this faculty induction program. And at this place, I'd like to say thanks to Ministry of Education for providing us opportunity for designing these futuristic program, because before this, they were, because higher education teachers are not coming with BEd and also knowing pedagogy. And here again, you look at this module 7, the personal emotional development and counseling, that has been again our team's input, especially inputs coming from Professor N.K. Chadda sir, and we have taking it further through various. And I'm very happy that now for the very first time we have actually designed it as a proper FDP, and it will be a great learning experience. Since 1st April 2020, when Corona pandemic came to us as a surprise to entire humanity, but then we exploited the potential of technology, and rather our team, who is pioneer in implementing technology in higher education, we were ourselves surprised with the number. Till 2020, from 2016, we had touched more than 9,000 teachers. But within last 2 years, I'm happy to announce this number. We have now touched around 70,000 teachers in the technical mode for this online FDP, the faculty induction program, webinars, and various activities. And we had been conducting again various events in this. The Teacher C-Kit again is a popular open educational resource which is being offered only and only by GADTLC. So as a group of teachers who want to contribute in this, many teachers are working in this front, and we are developing open education resources also. Coming to this particular FDP, this is something I think very important part of our requirement in the teaching learning processes, and use of technology should not be stopping that bonding. Even I think if we understand these models and how using technology, it's not that it has to be one way. We have to be now coming with a model where the various emotional bonding, the type of stress management, not only for students, but for us as also in the professional space which is required. We have the expert team and we will be all learning. Sir, Chadda sir, let me tell you, I am going to be your active student in this event. We are also having National Resource Center, and we are conducting these ARPIT programs in chemistry. Just as statistics, again, we are quite contributing in terms of the name. And we have been doing all this thanks to support to Professor Jaswinder Singh. Without his immense support in the entire Khalsa College and University of Delhi, it would not have been possible to do a huge work. Rather, I am so blessed, I say, that I am able to do this because of this entire team and all of you and because I am at college and not in any university. So thank you, Principal Sir, for this trust. And we also conduct various collaborative events. So those who are having those spark in their mind that yes, we also want to conduct some FDP, you can write to us and we will be happy to take it further. So thank you so much for joining in this FDP, and we will be all there to take this as a very good learning experience, although we are virtual, but then through virtual, I'm sure we will be able to do justice with this FDP. Thank you. Over to you, Vandana.
Thank you, ma'am, for introducing GADTLC to all of us. I take back to my slide share. Now, the person who definitely needs no introduction, I would request Professor Jaswinder Singh, Principal SGTB Khalsa College, to give a welcome address to our participants. But before, it is my honor to read his citation. Sir has been a co-principal investigator, EPG Pathshala project, awarded by the UGC to develop e-content for 16 papers for post-graduation. Professor Jaswinder Sir has developed 6 massive open online courses MOOCs in economics hosted on Swayam portal of the Ministry of HRD. Professor Singh is also the member of the UGC committee to review the autonomous status of college 2009-2014. Sir is a member advisory committee UGC nominee 2013 onwards. Center for Studies in Guru Granth Sahib, Guru Nanak Dev University. He is also the convener of the UGC committee to draft undergraduate courses for the implementation of choice-based credit system in the year 2015. Sir was the member Standing Committee for Students of Academic Council, University of Delhi from 1994 to 98 to advise and decide the academic hardships of the students regarding admissions and examination. I welcome you, sir, and I request you to give a welcome address to our participants. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vandana, for the nice introduction that you have given. Let me at the outset express our gratitude to Dr. K. Ramachandran for accepting the invitation to be the chief guest and also inaugurate this very special faculty development program, 1-week faculty development program, which has been prepared under the expert guidance of Professor N.K. Chadha. Professor Ramachandran is a scientist H in the Defense Institute of Psychological Research, DRDO, and he has acquired specialization in the areas of experimental and human engineering, aviation psychology, and environmental psychology. He has been bestowed with many awards, which my colleagues will read, given the the introduction, when we will request him to inaugurate the session and give the inaugural speech also. But I'm also grateful to Professor N.K. Chadha, who is our senior colleague and who retired very recently from University of Delhi. He is the international face of the University of Delhi because he is involved with so many organizations associated with the UNESCO, with World Bank, and he has been lecturing, around the globe in various universities. And we have been listening his expert talks, especially, when he is, giving talks on especially the mental health. I'm also grateful to Dr. Vimal Rar, my colleague in Khalsa College. And we are very proud of our achievements at this young age because she has been instrumental as part of our team. We are also grateful to Professor Ved Prakash, the former UGC chairman, and Professor Ashok Bakshi for associating along with Professor N.K. Chadda with the Khalsa College for helping us establish this Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center, which was established under the Ministry of Education a few years back. And, we have been working as a team even before Corona pandemic, as Professor Vimal has just mentioned that we were doing considerable work in the area of developing content for postgraduate courses in different subjects. And we have been helping various institutions and universities to do the same in other subjects, especially developing the content and then bring it, through the technological transformation, bring it in the form which is not only readable, but which has technological intervention and which becomes much more pleasurable when one goes through the content. It is hosted at various platforms such as, the UGC's Infibnet site, and also, the Government of India's Ministry of Education SWAM portal. As Dr. Vandana has mentioned that we have been, having, cooperation of many people, and the Ministry of Education at that time gave us this as a very special task under, the secretaryship of Mr. Subramaniam, who has gone to some other department now. But all of them, they helped us, developing this content and also, sharing our technological know-how with others. Dr. Vimal has also been, on behalf of the college, has been interacting with various institutions, especially the AICT and the UGC committees, where we have, trained few teachers in this task. I'm grateful to all the participants, especially because without their participation, no program can be made successful. And if you look at the number, it is really very huge. And I think it is because of the popularity of Professor Chadda and Dr. Vimal that many people are joining this program. And this program is really unique. Why I'm saying unique? Because I am an educational administrator, just a very small nano part of the University of Delhi. But we have been experiencing various, difficulties of the students. We also as human beings face many difficulties, but at the same time, as educational administrators, we do, encounter many, sometimes many situations which we just can't think of. I was discussing with my principal colleagues. In fact, today in the morning itself, we had a talk with the Vice Chancellor of the University of Delhi. And he also suggested a few things that what can be done, especially in this area, when the students are facing the difficulties. This stress is not only, the education. It is not that the teachers have not been able to communicate or the students have not been able to understand what the teacher is saying. There are many other issues which we can't think of, and earlier I was under this impression, in the CBSE, we had a discussion on these issues, and we thought that perhaps the school students are experiencing more. But, the World Bank and many others, there are various studies. In fact, if you go to the World Bank site, they will show that it is not only any country specific. It is not only, the school or the higher education, as rather the process is other way around. As, the student goes from school to the higher education, they are facing more difficulties. Many of the current generations, especially, second and third year students, they have not visited the colleges or the higher universities, higher educational institutions so far. So they have a wish to come to the institutions, or because of the lockdowns or because of the restrictions on the movement, they are unable to do so. Their parents, they try to interact with the teachers, but sometimes even the students are not able to share their problems with the parents. And as a result, we find that this age or gender or, these issues, it is the depression, or you can say sort of anxiety, is not restricted to a particular class of students. I was wondering if perhaps the students with the relatively lesser income groups, with relatively lesser incomes, for instance, the lower income group or the middle income group, from where, the larger chunk of our students, almost 60% of them, they come from the lower and the middle income classes. I was under this impression that perhaps they may be facing more difficulties, but it is untrue, even in the higher age groups, because of the lack of communication between parents and the students, between parents and their wards on the one side, and then the lack of, the physical interaction between the teachers and the students on the other. It complicates and rather it results in a larger bubble. And here, this training which Professor Chadha has proposed is very, very essential. I must say that, our economic difficulties, you might notice that, many of the students, they come to the colleges, come to the universities, and they say that they have lost their parents. They have lost the sources of income, even if their parents are alive. How to cope up with this? And they feel, hesitant to ask for even fee concession. So one can only imagine, what kind of depression a student is going through. At the face of it, you may not feel it, but I think all of us, the teachers, the principals, the non-teaching staff, the university administrators, we need to be trained. We need to be psychologically prepared to assess their problems and also have some sort of solutions if possible. And it is not always, the fee concession or these things. You might notice that a student came, he said that I was doing very well in the first year, but in the second year, my father lost the job. He was working with a company which has been closed. It was a private enterprise and he has no income. So therefore he cannot afford the telephone bill. So you see, he has the computer set up, he has the telephone connection, the telephone with him, but his parents say that they cannot afford the connectivity. So how do you, help in this? So I think it is, we need both macro and micro managements along with the expert guidance of, the psychology experts. Sometimes I can tell you that, especially the girl students, they need even psychiatrics consultancy also. And, we in University of Delhi have been having access to experts like Professor Chadha and many more. But, but the situation is not the same, especially in the rural areas. Many of our students, 30% of them come in Khalsa College, for instance, they are from outside Delhi. A number of them, they face this difficulty in connectivity. And, I can tell you another phenomena. Today, we were sharing the information. The students, initially, almost 90% of them were attending the classes. And now, over a period of 2 years, the number of students attending the teachers' classes has come down sharply. And it is not the connectivity issue. This may be, the very special experience which the students are going through. So I think the program which Professor Chadha has prepared, this faculty development program, it is required not only for the teachers, it is required not only for the students, but I think all of us, we need to go through the special contents. And I'm grateful that many resource persons, which Dr. Vandana was mentioning, they will be giving us the useful insights to read the minds of the students, and also, they should suggest us the mechanism through which we can, resolve this. And let me tell you, there are various organizations. The World Bank is one of them. They are giving very different types of internships which are specific to your own nation, to your own area, and also which are specific to, different countries. So all, these things will give a lot of confidence to the teachers. And I think the private sector should also come out very openly that even if they find, the students' training is not as per their expectations, but even then they should be willing to offer them, the placements at relatively competitive rates. We have seen that the campus placements in many of the universities have gone completely missing. This also leads to some sort of depression or some sort of, not cognizance which is taken by the society. The adequate cognizance should be taken of these areas, and then perhaps we can suggest the mechanisms. I express my gratitude to Professor K. Ramachandran for accepting the invitation, and Professor N.K. Chadda for designing this program for all of us, for my colleagues, which have joined in very large numbers, and which are not restricted to, again, just to one city or one university. Rather, they are from the different parts of the country. And I hope this program will provide us very, very useful training, and also it will give us, useful insights to solve the problems. And we as a nation, we as human beings can, surmount many problems. Already, the corona is on the defeat side. It is, even though it is coming in various formats, the people are coming prepared for this. And many nations have taken very bold steps. Perhaps we will, through the psychological training of Professor Chadda, will come much more victorious as a nation. Thank you very much for having me.
Great.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Listening to you is really a pleasure, because your real life experience with students is what enchants us as teachers a lot. Thank you so much, sir. Next, but of course, very important person as an FDP coordinator as well as the resource person, I would now request Professor N.K. Chadda to introduce our participants about the FDP. Before that, I take an honor to read his citation. Professor Chadda is the former professor and head Department of Psychology, University of Delhi, former director and head Department of Adult Continuing Education and Extension, former chairman, Board of Research Studies in Humanities and Social Sciences, University of Delhi. He was in the panel of judge for Prime Minister's Trophy for the Steel Industry for 5 consecutive years. Professor Chadda was the task force member of Performance Management Division of Cabinet Secretariat, Government of India. He was also the senior consultant to UNDP on career development, author of several books and research articles. He has more than 120 articles in various scientific national and international journals, which are often quoted and referred by the researchers. He's on the management bodies of many institutes in India and abroad. He was also invited by the UN to attend experts group meeting held in UN headquarters on family issues. Professor Chadda is also the former president of the Asia Pacific Career Development Association, Maryland, USA. Recently, he has been awarded Iconic Award in Psychology on 24th November 2021 by Indian Association of Health Psychology during their international conference held at GBU, Gautam Buddha University, Noida. Sir, I welcome you, and I request you to kindly introduce our participants about this FDP. Thank you.
Good evening to all the participants. And it's really amazing to see there are more than 230 plus participants are logged in who are attending this program. Maybe there are more number will join, which I'm expecting, because initially my expectation when we planned for this program and made the announcement roughly about, if I'm not wrong, about 10 days back, I was hoping that we might have 40-50 participants to attend this program. That was my thinking, and this was the thinking of my colleagues also who are involved with me in giving their expert talk or insight into the various components, which I will shortly share with you. But it's a great having more than 230 participants attending from various disciplines and various parts of the country, this faculty development program. And I'm satisfied in the sense that about last 1 year I was in USA, I was a little feeling guilty that I was not contributing to our e-learning at the Khalsa College, where I was involved since 2015 on developing EPG Pathshala and then for the MOOCs also. Because I was 1 year out in US, I was a little feel guilty in that sense because things were going on. And one fine afternoon, I went to Khalsa College to meet Principal Jaswinderji, and there I find the great inspiring lady Bimal over there, sitting over there in that office. And her commitment, to that extent, she told me, sir, you're back. I said, yes, I came back. I'm here for another 3-4 months. By the end of March, I might return back to US again. She said, before returning to US, do one thing. I said, what is that? Kindly propose a faculty development program in the area of mental health. The idea of mental health came from Bimal and Jaswinderji. Okay. And they are so near and dear to me, Beju participant. Whatever they tell to me, I take it as an order, not as a request, because they are that near to me. Because order, I hope you will agree with me, we give order to person with whom we feel very close. So why I'm saying order? Because to tell you, I'm so near and dear to them. And with a short notice, let me thank to K. Ramchandran, Director of DIPR. With a very short notice, I give him a call. Ramchandran, can you come as a chief guest? We want you to become over there. He had some meeting today, entire day plan. I said, but you have to spare from 4 to 5:30 or so with us. You should be here. Thank you, Ramchandran, for that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And this faculty development program in the area of mental health, we will be talking with you number of issues on the mental health. We will be starting today. I will be starting myself with the session understanding self and others. Diagnose your own self and see what are the potential which you will find out that there are many potential which you have, which you are not aware. I will try to open those in front of you, try to put a mirror in front of you, show the mirror, see yourself in the mirror. I will make you to understand it by your own journey with us. Then we will be talking about the counseling skills from the point of view of how the counseling skill you can utilize in a better having effective teaching and make your student much more comfortable in that, in the learning process. And then emotions, understand the emotions, how you can understand the emotion of the person in a way, how you can, what are the triggers in the emotion and the technique of mindfulness which is used in that, which will help you understanding and in the process of learning student. Our focus will not be only the student. Our focus will be your colleagues also, understand the colleagues also, the understanding your family members also, understanding the person with whosoever in your, the moment you move, how to interact with the person and make a mark in the mind of that person and utilize and leave a kind of impression which can help in building up that relationship. From there, we will building up on a very important and significant topic, which we have been talking in psychology, and Cotterword is working very extensively that in the area of emotional intelligence. How emotional intelligence can make you understand, get aware yourself, help you in building up the relationship, whether it's coming with the colleagues, whether it's coming with your seniors, whether it's coming your young colleagues over there, whether it's coming with the students, how you can make students understand there. In the process also, we will be also try to discuss with you how you can identify if in a classroom of 40 or 50, so how you can identify a student who having a special need to address, identify the child with special needs and then address those needs in a very effective, so that that child with special needs can also be at par with the child who is maybe an average child intellectually, or maybe a gifted kind of child over there, making at par over there. Then last components we will be talking about the stress and management. What is stress? From where it's coming? What are the sources? Maybe we are ourselves responsible for creating the stress, and in the process we are affecting our relationship at our workplace, at our family place, at our society level, at the community level also. Understanding that, building up and those relationships which can give a good relief in the process. These are the various topics which is a very vast topic of mental health, but we have picked up selective topics which are very useful for the in the teaching learning process, which will help you as an effective teacher to become a, because that's I presume, I think my presumption is wrong, not wrong, that everyone wants to be an effective teacher. Everyone to be a teacher who is admired by the student, not only by the student, but the society also, who is admired by the society also. And in the next, this one big program, our pedagogy will be different. Pedagogy will be much more interactive in nature. So let's not have you be a passive listener. You should be active listener. In between, we will be opening up. I know we can't have, with such a large group, we cannot have an audio discussion, but definitely we will try to, we will keep our chat box open so that we pick up your question from the chat. You can raise the question, not at the end, and in between also, we will try. Then we will give you some assessment also. Psychological assessment, we will try to help you understand assessment. For example, when I'm talking about the self-awareness, understanding your strengths, so we will have a very small, not a very large tools, small tools of 20, 30 questions, very focused question, very simple question. We are not assessing anyone's intellectual ability. We are trying to assess your that part of the personality which can help you much more effective in a teaching learning. And then give you some case studies also in the process. And the case study, each topic will dealt with the case study. We will discuss some case study that take what are the possible answer by which you can handle the case very effectively in the process. So this is the entire journey of the program, this 7 days, which we have kept for you. And at the end, obviously, the evaluation, quality development program also requires evaluation in 4 components. The assignments which are given, we have 2 assignments we'll provide you. The assignment will be entirely based on the topic which we had discussed with you. Okay, we are not looking that you should go and consult 5 or 10 books. No, they don't need to consult any book. You know, just with the understanding and the application. Your assignment is from the application point of view. It's applicable in the real setting. We will have 2 assignments of 50 marks also. Then we will give you a project which will be taking into consideration the entire program which we are handling over here, and also MCQ of 30 marks which will be given at the end. From each topic, you will find the MCQ so that we can see the learning taken place. And MCQ will not be a kind of MCQ content. We are trying to work out how much content you learn it, but how you apply the content into the actual real setting. So this is the entire flow of the information, and we will have the journey together. I hope, I wish, and we will work hard, me and my colleagues will really work hard to satisfy all the participants, not only the participants. It's a question of the prestige of the teaching learning center, the Khalsa College, because that commitment, there we don't make any kind of compromise, and we will handle it accordingly. Over to Bandra.
Thank you so much, sir. And I am seeing, sir, some comments coming. They are starting worrying about the assignment. Don't worry, we are all here. We will ensure that it will be.
It's a very simple. We will discuss.
Yeah, it's going to be a very simple process.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You will not face any difficulty, psychological difficulty because of the assessment.
No problem. It's a very simple. Nothing. We are not asking you to go and read 10 books. No,
Right.
Nothing. What we discuss, you will find from there only.
On the lighter note, sir, I think this is what the pressure we are giving to our students. So yeah. now you are on the student seat. So look at from that perspective as well. Then yeah. Okay. Over to you, Vandana.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And being sir's PhD student, I can guarantee you that he's very, very lenient for his assignments, and he gives full support to everybody. So you will be in a safe zone. Okay, let me share my screen again.
Yes.
Thank you, sir, for explaining the entire program to us. It is now very clear to all of us. And now, I take a privilege and honor to introduce our chief guest, Dr. K. Ramachandran, Director, Defense Institute of Psychological Research, DRDO. And I read his citation with great privilege and honor. Dr. K. Ramachandran, Scientist H, is presently Director DIPR DRDO from 1st March 2013. He has acquired specialization in the areas of experimental and human engineering, aviation psychology, and environmental psychology. He joined the Defense Institute of Psychological Research under DRDO as Scientist B in 1989, and since then has been associated with projects dealing with experimental and human engineering, aviation psychology, and environmental psychology. SIR's involvement has brought out various tests and aids for psychological adaptation of troops in high altitude Siachen glacier areas and for scientific teams in Antarctica. Design and development of tools and systems for selection of armed forces personnel has been his special forte. As program director for the series production of computerized pilot selection system, CPSS, unique to a life sciences lab, he could provide landmark achievement in the field. He has been instrumental in starting MSc Military Psychology course for service personnel at DIPR. He has attended many international and national conferences, seminars, and workshops held at various organizations. He has a large number of articles published in books and journals and conference proceedings. The DRDO Technology Award for the year 2003 and the Agni Award for Excellence in Self-Reliance 2005 and 2015 was awarded to him for his scientific contributions. He was also awarded the Alumni of the Year 2009 by PSG and Sons Charities, Coimbatore. He has recently been awarded for significant contributions in psychology by Team of Healthcare Professional, AIMS, in 2014. He holds the life membership of the Indian Academy of Applied Psychology and Madras Psychologist Association. We warmly welcome you, sir, and I request you to share your words of wisdom with all of us. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words about me. At the outset, very good evening to all of you, and indeed, I'm happy to be a part of this endeavor. As a student, I believe that, like always, the credit goes to all my teachers, and especially I owe it to my mentor and guide. Even today, I learned a lot of things from Professor Chadha. I'm one of his student. I got my doctorate under him. Generally, people say that it is indeed always you remember what you are today is because of your teachers. All the teachers over here, I owe it, all your students will remember you forever. At the outset, I thank the organizers. Especially, I would like to thank Professor Jaswinder, who has been the principals and the director of the GADTLC Center at Khalsa College. And once again, thank the another national coordinator, Professor Vimla Rath, and the resource persons, Professor Priya Kumar and Professor Vandana Gambhir, and all esteemed the professors and the lecturers at various colleges all over the country who have joined this meet today. Indeed, learning is a continuous process which goes forever. One can never say that, like, yes, I've learned many things. Actually, there is a saying in Tamil, like, "Kattrathu kallalavu, kalladadu ullagavu," which means that, like, no, whatever you have read or I mean, no, you have gone through from your teachers is as a small piece of thing, whereas the left out thing is a big ocean that which we have got. And another important thing is generally people say 4 people are remembered. What you are today is like we start with Mata, Pita, Guru, and the God. But like I believe that, like, no, the main thing why they have kept 4 people, it's because of teachers. As still we remember, if any one of us we try to remember, we always remember what we are today. We say that it's a teacher who made us to be on this particular platform today. Otherwise, I don't think that father and mother can give some kind of a support to us. But whereas the teachers are the one who makes you what you are at any level. And always the teachers feel pride in saying that, yes, it is like now my student is there in all over the country. Like one such example is like amongst us, Professor Chadda. All these students are all over the globe. And in very good question. Today, I can proudly say that it is because of those teachers who made you to understand. People say that like the Hanuman ka bal जो किसी और को बताना पड़ता है. They say that it is like whatever strength and resources that you all have, probably today is the time which has come. I think that Professor Chadda and the entire team is going to show you the real strength what teachers are having. One thing I would like to say that the theme of the conference, developing positive mental health itself, is for the teaching and learning environment. I can tell you mental health itself is a positive connotation, and emphasizing positive mental health is something that which they are saying that in today's scenario, it's paramount important. All the students who are coming today, irrespective of your school education to the college education, they are extraordinarily intelligent than all of us. We have to understand that one. In order to give them something, gone are the days that, okay, you refer and you can come back. Today, the students are coming with already, they've got all those technological advancement has given them enough of impetus for them to learn something and come and try to look for something new from the teachers. It's a quite challenging environment, which has been amply brought out by the principals from the Khalsa College about what are the other stressors which are operating on the student population as well as on teachers in the present situation. Through e-learning, majority of the activities are happening. Today, mental health is one of the major issues which are daunting the entire society. I can tell you globally, it has been recognized. WHO itself says that mental health is something that which has been taking a toll on the children today. For example, it not only with the professors at the college level, yes, many of the students have lost their parents and to come over and to meet. The colleges are the place where they can develop the social skills. But today it's almost restricted. They speak to people through the technology, but they may not give that kind of a warmth. For example, a touch of the teacher, the presence of the teacher, make the student feel pride, and his gestures, his emotional expressions, his interactions will give a lot of impetus for them to learn many things. At the same time, you get a feedback about a teacher when you start taking classes. You are going to physically see all of them. You understand the pulse of the students, and you can fine-tune your lecturing topics in such a way. That helps a lot. Why I'm trying to say this thing is because the understanding one's own self is paramount important. As we said that it has been amply brought out by Professor Chadda in this talk about awareness. Self-awareness is something which is most important. Once you are aware about your strengths, automatically you are able to contribute effectively to the student population, and you can understand their emotions, feelings, and how to handle them, how to build that trust in the teachers. The children will come. Generally, like now, I had a small experience, my personal experience I can share with all the esteemed the teachers over here. I can tell you, I was just started while doing my MPhil work at Chennai, and I started dealing with children at Counseling Bureau at the University of Madras. There, when we try to attend to the children, the parents say that like, no, okay, he has been put into almost 7-8 schools. From one school to another, they were able to afford. They are very wealthy people, but they could put the children into various places. But the problem is the child is not able to absorb it. When we try to ask him, finally he came out with an example why he started hating a teacher. First thing is the student would feel that like, no, I should approve my teachers. Teacher approval is one of the most important thing for any person who comes to learn. I feel that, yes, I am going to learn something from him. That kind of a role model the teacher is supposed to create. If you have to create your own self into that level, because knowledge is power and you should have that knowledge, you should share the knowledge to the student. Then only it can be possible for a children to learn. There, when I asked the child, what happened? Why you start hating your teacher? This maths, I don't like my maths at all. The child came and told openly. But whereas you have been doing well in your earlier thing, why it all of a sudden you start developing? He said that she insulted me in front of the entire class. So I start hating the teacher. Whenever I think about the subject, the teacher's face came in front of me. So I started hating maths at all altogether. You can imagine the kind of an impact a teacher is going to create in the mind of an young, or for that matter, even the adults whom we are dealing today. Their expectations are very high. So I believe that this particular program is going to help a lot in improving one's own self, how to present yourself, how to make the subject interesting to the student, so that you are able to attend to that. For example, I still remember whenever there is a class by Professor Sen in terms of particularly in, I heard from my other colleagues also who are working with me, they are students of Delhi University. They always say that when research methodology class by Professor Sen, so all the people would like to go and listen. That's the kind of an impact he could create on the young minds of the students in the faculty at university. Similar kind of an impact can occur if a teacher is able to attract the students, understand the students, and go to their level and you start explaining, which is going to be a great boon for the children, as well as for the teacher also will feel pride that, yes, my student is in various locations. That kind of an impact it can create. This self-development program is going to focus on those soft skills which you yourself can first do an introspection, try to understand how much strength you have got and how you are going to use those strengths. First, you have an insight about that and how to sharpen those skills and try to use it effectively for your normal day-to-day activities at the teaching level also. And that kind of a impetus it's going to give. Another thing is stress. It's an inevitable phenomena. Always, all of us has got anxiety. Whether even today, if I am asked to go and meet my secretary to present something about that, definitely I'll go with some kind of a butterfly in my stomach and I go there, because I don't know what kind of a reaction he is going to give. So that anxiety is required for optimal performance. But at the same time, if I start worrying about it, I'm going to meet my secretary, how I'm going to talk about it, definitely it's not going to help me. I'm going to spoil my health and as well as my thought process itself. So how to refine our thought process? Who is the creator of stress? It is our own mind. We think that it is going to be stressful. So we are the person who are creating, we are perceiving that as a stress. So how to overcome that one? These are some of the nuances that are going to be taught by all the faculties, particularly the resource people, right from Professor Chadda sir and other esteemed members are going to give you the nuances of how to understand our own self, how to develop that interpersonal relations. I can still remember, I right from my school till college, I always have got, whenever I get an opportunity, I go and meet my teachers first. Because I don't know, somehow that comes to my mind first. Because today, what you are in, it's because of them. So obviously, it is a small respect we want to give it to them. That's the reason, like whenever Professor Chadda used to tell me, he called me up, he said that you have to be there. Yes, what he said was rightly, I cannot say no to him, because actually, because I learned a lot from him and I'm trying to imbibe certain things what he has got. I can never become Professor Chadda, but there are certain qualities which you try to imbibe and try to work on it and try to present it to others. So that's what the thing the teachers are going to be, and for the teachers to develop. So continuous learning is something which is important. It never ends. I used to quote whenever I used to get an opportunity to talk to my younger lot over here. I used to tell, When I read the subject, when I was a BA student, graduate student, that time also I read the Introduction to Psychology, Morgan and King. That point of time, my objective is to get that 35 marks and to get a pass mark and do that. When I went to masters, then I realized that it is totally different. Again, I read the book. I try to acquire, because you have been asked to take seminars, you have been asked to present the chapters in front of the teachers. So I learned, I saw a different perspective. When I completed my the entire degree courses, graduation and post-graduation. Then I joined this organization. When I started teaching, even today, when I refer the same Morgan and King book, I'm able to tell you, let me be frank with all of you. I can understand only 5 to 10% of what the author had in mind when he was penning down those chapters. This is what I could see, what the author had in mind when he was writing those chapters. Only 5 to 10%. That itself is a higher perspective, I can say. So the learning is a continuous process. Every day, whenever, as a teacher, as a professor, when you try to interact with the teacher, when the children or the students are going to ask some question, definitely all the aspects are not known to us. I used to always look towards them. Please come up and you tell me that, like, and what is that? Let us, you know better, because you have been reading that one. You give me those inputs to me so that I can improve myself. That is one aspect. Another mechanism is of that having more of a small workshops kind of a thing. Whenever, it should not be like one way kind of a learning, that somebody comes and delivers a talk and then finally you go and just to get a mark. Not that way. Probably make it as a workshop oriented approach. Probably you can give a problem and try to develop the personality of an individual. That is most important. The personality side by side, along with the academic. Any subject, no subject is bad, or all the subject, irrespective of any subject, right from history or English literature to any subject, even your science studies, it's equally important. One has to excel in that particular area. If we have to excel, obviously the teachers are the one who can make them think in that direction and show the path of achieving that one. So I believe, to develop your own self, this self-development program, particularly the faculty development program, is going to immensely help people to develop their own personality in a more acceptable way, so that all the students will come and say that, yes, he is one of the best teacher I ever had in my career. So today I feel that, like, no, this is something that which I am going to use it for my future career prospects, kind of a thing will come. And I believe the kind of a narration what Professor Chadda has brought out, and as well as Professor Vimla and Professor Jasminder has told us, that this faculty development program is going to be of immense help for your personal development. I can tell you, if you are personally, you are going to develop, all other people associated with you are going to get benefit out of it, and you are going to share your experiences with all others, and that they themselves also learn. It is not that, like, as a teacher, one has to learn from only from your own gurus and all. You can learn from your colleagues, you can subordinate. As I said, we can learn lot of things from our own students. They are very brilliant people. And today, if you see any kind of courses, the first cutoff, I think that I used to wonder that in psychology, the first cutoff ends at 100% in Delhi University. That is something that which we, as a student, I used to feel astonished. Getting maybe 62% in the university rank used to be 65%. That is the maximum percentage we used to get when we were students. But the pride of our younger lot, such a young, brilliant lot is going to come. I can assure you, to all the participants over here, if we are going to attempt JEE paper in today's mathematics exam, majority of us might not get more than 60 marks. But whereas you can see that, like, all the students, 100 marks they are getting, centum in very many subjects they are getting. So we must understand, today's generation is a very brilliant one. To manage them, we have to at least to reach to some level of theirs, so that they listen to us when we go and teach some subject, and they try to understand. And if we start making, because the adult population which will come, if we are going to be friendly with them, we are going to be people say that a person who reaches up to your shoulder, even though he may be your son, you have to treat him as a friend. So likewise, all of you, if you start treating them as your friends, I can tell you one thing, you can make them do great wonders, and which is going to help the entire humanity in the years to come. And another important thing which I felt that if you take the Indian age population in the entire globe, if we try to see, we are the country, we have got human resource potentials of a good age bracket. An average age profile could be of 35 years. So they are the people who are going to go to various parts of the globe and bring laurels to the country and contribute for the betterment of humanity. I'm sure that this the faculty development program, particularly the developing the positive mental health for the teaching and learning for the professionals you're all going to participate, will immensely benefit. I'm sure that at the end of the program, if you give your valuable feedback to the organizers for about the entire content, and as well as the way we should go forward, which will help in refining the process and as well as take it forward for the benefit of the entire the teachers. And I'm sure that I would like to thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to share some of my thoughts. Again, I owe it all, whatever I am today and whatever I have spoken today is the outcome of my mentors, my teachers. I wish you all the best, and I'm indeed happy to know I'll be in touch with all the organizers to understand the kind of a feedback which you are all going to give. And I'm sure that you please don't give only positive notes about the program. Please come with this shortcoming. That is what is going to help a person to improve upon. If everybody says the program is fine and there is no point of learning which is going to take place for the organizers as well as who are going to teach. So if the feedback is going to be of something that which you all feel that probably you have adapted in your own teaching program, that if that could be shared, which could benefit the entire fraternity of the professors for their own development, and which will really help a lot. I thank once again for the organizers for giving me this opportunity, and I wish you all the best for the entire success of this faculty development program. Jai Hind.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And we do take feedback every day, rightly as pointed by you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing the deeper psychological thoughts. It seems I was in a classroom again and learning from you. Thank you, sir. We also have Dr. Priya, who has just joined us. Priya ma'am is also a resource person, a very senior faculty at Aditi Mahavidyalaya. Ma'am, welcome to the course. We were waiting for you to join.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vanna.
So now with this, we have come to the culmination of this inaugural session. And I know you all are waiting for session by Professor N.K. Chadda on self. And you are going to learn a lot about that topic in just a while. Before that, I just propose a formal vote of thanks for all of us who have joined. A formal vote of thanks I propose to all of you. First and foremost, I would like to thank our honorable chief guest, Dr. K. Ramachandran, who spent his busiest time gracing the occasion. Next, a sincere and warm-hearted thanks to esteemed Professor Jaswinder Singh, Professor N.K. Chadda, Professor Vimal Raj, and Professor Priya Kanwar. My deep sense of appreciation to all our participants who are here with us across India. Last but not the least, I thank all the staff of GADTLC, the entire working committee who worked hard to make this event successful. With this formal vote of thanks, I think we can break for 5 minutes. We don't have to log out from the session. We can remain in the session, but just have a hang around for 5 minutes and come back to join the session with Professor N.K. Chadda. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Professor
Thank you.
Ramchandran. Thank you, Chadha sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So Vanna, maybe you can announce the precise time. Now it is 5:17. Maybe all.
Ma'am, we can join at 5:20.
5:25.
5:25 will be
5:25.
5:25.
Fine.
Fine, ma'am.
That's great. I will start 5:25. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. We are back. Samina, you cannot hear because there was a break going on. Okay, so we are through with that, and I'll request Professor Chadda sir to please take it further.
Yeah. Okay, let's start the session. As I told you in the introduction during the inaugural, that our sessions will be more interactive rather than it's a one-way flow of process where speaker will be speaking and you will be listening just. I want everyone to be very actively involved with me. I know it's not possible to open the audio for everyone, otherwise there will a lot of noise will come. But that reason I will keep my chat box open so that you can put the things on the chat book as and when I ask you to dwell upon. I just want to ask a simple question to you before I start sharing my screen, PowerPoint, that who are you? Think over it for a moment. Who are you? Very good. Somebody written students forever, human beings, student. Excellent. Come on, who are you? Anyone else would like to write on the chat box? Individual, learner, human being, teacher, an individual, learner, educator, human being, seeker, educator, God's beautiful creature, an individual, teacher and learner. I'm the best. A tiny particle, human, part of nature. Tell me one thing. Did you learn anything from the chat box? The answer given by so many of you of my question. Did you learn anything about anyone? If you ask me personally, I haven't learned anything. I've not got the answer. I knew you are a human being. I know you are a teacher. I know you are an educator. I know you are a soul. What are you telling me? I know you're a human being. Yes. You see what you written on the chat box. I'm a human being. I'm an educator. I'm a teacher. I'm a soul. I'm a learner. Oh my God, I think this was known to each one of you. And one friend of mine has written, I am Dr. Anand Prakash. Okay. See, Dr. Anand Prakash. I'm a person. I'm a participant. I know I'm talking about the participant. I'm talking about the participant. I know the educator is sitting in front of me. I'm Anand Prakash because someone in my family, my grandmother or grandfather or father or whatever, kept my name Anand Prakash. So I'm Anand Prakash. Like I'm NK Chadda because my grandmother kept my name NK. I'm born in Chadda family. It's not me. It's not me. If I would have been born in some other family, say for example in Malhotra family, I would have been Dr. N.K. Malhotra. I'm a living being, I know. You are a living being. So this information I had. Why spend last 5 minutes on you asking this question? Who are you? If I'm going to get the answer, I'm a participant, I'm an educator, I'm a learner, I'm a soul, a human being. Be honest, think over it. Really, you have shared anything about you? You have not shared anything with me. You are going to the class to teach a student, then you say, you know, I'm an educator, I'm a teacher. Don't you think children will laugh? They knew you are an educator, you are a teacher, you came to the class to teach them. And not you, most of you. Invariably answer, whenever this question asks, who are you? This is the answer. I'm such and such, my father's name is such and such, I'm a teacher in Khalsa College, I'm teacher in Chennai University, teaching chemistry, teaching blah, blah, blah. This is the information which you know, which is like an open book. No need to ask you. I could have asked the organizer, give me the list of the participants, then I will come to know your names and you from where, which place, which subject you are. And today we will have the journey where we will try to learn. Let me tell you, you people don't know more than 10 to 20% what you are. 80%, 90% I can say, but a challenge. You don't know what you are. The kind of potential which you have. The kind of traits which you have. Always we think ourselves to be domain of my name is this, my father name, I have 2 brothers, 1 sister, my mother is working, father is working, or blah, blah, blah. No. No, I request you to think at least 5 positive traits. It's a positive potential, positive mental health we are trying to build up. Yeah, that's our focus. Just write on a sheet of paper in front of you. Just keep a sheet of paper and pen because I will give you some activities. Write on a sheet of paper in front of you. Any 5 qualities which you think you have. You think. What other things? Please ignore the others. What your family member think, what your student think, what your colleague think, just ignore that. Just on a sheet of paper in front of you, write at least 5 positive qualities. The strength which you think you have. The strength, Anand Prakash say, these are my strengths. Maybe you can close your eyes for a moment, for 30 seconds or 60 seconds. Think what comes to your mind. What are those qualities which you can see in you, which are positive quality? I'm not talking about negative. There are negatives, every one of us have. Let's forget about that. Let's think about positive strength areas. Like somebody said, compassionate, emotional, effective listener. Great. Just write on a sheet of paper. And some of you would like to share on the chat also. Once you write. If more than 5 comes to your mind at this moment, please go ahead. This we will continue for another 2 minutes. Please go ahead. If some more are coming to your mind, 5, If you can't write 5, you think only 3 come to your mind. No problem. Write 3 only. Don't force yourself. But it's coming more than 5, 6, 7, 8. Please go ahead. Resilient, assertive, hardworking, honest, intelligent, sincere, empathetic, open-minded. Great. We have still about 75 seconds more. Analytical, good communicator, communicating skill, understanding, helpful, emotional, learner, open-minded, good, great. Critical thinker. Okay, go ahead. Good orator, intelligent, confident, loyal. Above all, I'm blessed. Good writing skill, lovable, hardworking, intelligent, sincere, $20 more. Thank you. I'm really happy you are engaged with me. You are together. We are together. Great. Okay. Thanks. Can I hope? Can I expect that at least for next hour or so, you will remain honest with yourself? Can I hope? Can I expect that for next 1 hour till 7 or so, we finish the session today, you will remain honest with the self. I'm not saying you should be honest with me. That's your choice. But my expectation, my request, my humble request to you to be honest with the self. Be honest with the self. Yes? Yes? Great. Stay honest with yourself. And I'm presuming whatsoever you have written on a sheet of paper about the positive quality you think you have, you were honest. It comes to your mind and you just put on a sheet of paper. Without bothering, without taking into consideration what others think. Say, for example, I think I'm hardworking. That's my positive strength. I'm committed. Others think or don't think, that's a different issue. We will come to that also. So this is self-awareness and other. Both components are here. But at this moment, I'm saying, don't bother about the others at all. Rightly written by one of the participants. Don't bother about it. Fine. No. Can you write any 5 weaknesses which you think you have? Can you write another 2 minutes? Any 5 weaknesses which you think you have? If you find it difficult to find 5, you could find only 1 or 2, just write 1 or 2. Don't pressurize yourself, but at least be honest with yourself. Just write on the sheet of paper any 5 weaknesses you think you have. The weaknesses which you think you have. Meantime, let me bring my PPT while you continue. Whatever comes to your mind, which you think your weaknesses which you have, please write on a sheet of paper in front of you. Overthinking, anger, quick decision, victim of occasional anger, impatient, lazy, react very soon, emotional, impractical, were you in a position to write your 5 weaknesses comfortably? Or the same amount of time which you have taken in writing strength? You think that you have taken the same amount of time which you have taken for writing your strength? Same amount of time you have taken writing your weaknesses, it took more time. I'm hoping that you are honest to the self. I'm hoping you are honest to the self. If really you want to learn and undergo journey with us. Now, my question to you now, you have written 5 weaknesses, strengths, you have written 5 weaknesses also. Do you think that you are taking same amount of time in writing both, or the time was less in the case of weaknesses compared to strength, or the other way? Okay. So what we have been talking last 10, 12, 15 minutes about the self. And what you have written, that was the part of the self which was known to you, which you think you are. Agree? Whatever amount of self you have written, I want to write word self. What is known to you in terms of the strengths or in terms of weaknesses. You have written that part of the self which was known to you. Okay, so you have written this part of the self which was known to you. But I hope you will agree with me. There are other part of the self which is not known to you. You are not aware about it. Okay, so self have been divided into two. What is known to you, which you have just written on the sheet of paper in front of you, and other part of yourself which is not known to you, that is unknown. Okay, so self we are dividing into two, like 5 strengths, 6 strengths, 3 strengths, 4 strengths, those weaknesses. You are just written on a sheet of paper which is known to you. What comes to your mind with your experience, with your interaction? Interaction. Yes. What do you mean by, what I mean by interaction? Interaction with whom? Interaction with others. With whom you are interacting. Others could be your peer, good, somebody written, your student, your boss, your subordinate, your family member, your parents, your children, your spouse. The self which you have written was only that part of the self which was known to you. But there are others also with whom you have been interacting. They must have formed some opinion about you, whether that's a right or whether it's a wrong. No, not. When you interact with them, they also form the opinion. He or she is such and such, such and such, such and such. That may be right, may not be right. Maybe 80% right, 20% wrong, maybe 20% right, 80% wrong. It can be anyway. So if I take both components, that part of the self which is known to you, and that part of the self which is unknown to you, which you don't know as or now, maybe you will come to know slowly, and others with whom you are interacting, that part of the self which is known to them, and that part of the self which is unknown to them. Others can be anyone, can be your family member, can be your colleagues, can be your students. In the classroom setting when you go, your students are there. In the office staff, in the college, with whom you interact consciously. Sometimes you interact unconsciously also. Interaction also happens. So we divide self into two parts, which is known to me and which is unknown to me. Similarly, others also we divide into two parts, that part of the self which is known to me and that part of the self which is not known to me. Let's see first quadrant over here on the screen. First quadrant is that part of you which is known to you as well as known to others. First quadrant is that part of you which is known to you. You know about it. Others also know about you. You know, your spouse also know. Your parents also know about you. And there's a compatibility, absolute compatibility between your knowing and the other person's knowing. That is the self. And this self is called open area of the self. This self is known as the open area of the self. Means which is known to me. I know as a person, I'm committed, I'm hardworking, I'm emotional, I'm angry person, I'm less assertive person, but this is known to my colleagues also. To same extent or to me to less extent than what I know. Now we will see self, not only from our perspective, our point of view, but we will see self from the point of view of the others also. At that part of yourself, you as a person, we call it as a open area of the self, known area, which is an open book. What is second? Second part of the self is that I don't know. I don't know what me. You are telling me. You are giving me that information. Okay? I don't know, but you are giving me the information. That is that part of the self which is unknown to me, but known to others. That is called blind area, blind from self. I don't know. Others are giving that information. Choice in your hand, whether to accept it or reject it. Whether to accept it, the information is coming from the others, whether to accept it or whether to reject it, choice in your hand. That is the part of the self which is, unless until, if I'm open, maybe you will see further, my blind area maybe get what is third quadrant? Third quadrant is known to the self. I knew about it. You don't know. Other person from any walks of life. That is known as the hidden area. That is hidden area, hidden from the other. Maybe purposefully, maybe intentionally, I make it a point, you should not come to know about that part of me. I put all my effort. You should not come to know. Or I had not put any effort. Somehow, there was no situation or circumstances that part of myself came in the forefront. So you don't know. That is called the hidden area of the self, hidden from others. And the last part, fourth number quadrant, is unknown to me. You know it? Unknown to me, I don't know. Sorry. You know? You don't know. Unknown, or sometimes we also call it as a dark area or closed area. Okay? Sometimes we also call it a dark area or the closed area. Unknown. It's not known to me. Can you help me? Can I come to you? Can you help me in diagnosing that part of me? Because it's not known to me. It's also not known to you also. It may be known. Yeah, may be known. May be known. I agree. It may be known to whom? The Almighty God. It may be known to whom? The Almighty God. I cannot go to God. I cannot go to God to ask him, kindly tell me about me. I know the moment I go over there, he will tell me, but he will not allow me to come down. He says, stay over here now. So at least I cannot go the risk. I cannot take that risk. But if you know something about me, you have observed me, you have seen me, you have the good data available, tell about me. If I go to you, there's some possibility you might love to help me. You might like to help me. Or you can say, no, you may not disclose. Still you don't disclose. And if I don't interact with you, some of you have, I think, sound problem, not others. Maybe check your connection. Connection is same. I'm speaking, I can reach to everyone in the same voice. So there are 4 areas of this interaction of the self and the others. One is open area, other is blind area, blind from the self, hidden area, hidden from other, intentionally or unintentionally, purposefully or not purposefully. I may have made attempt, I have not may have made any attempt. And unknown area, which is dark area, unknown to you, unknown to me also. No, you had written 5/10 area on a sheet of paper. Initially, when I told you to write, I think you have written 5. Some of you may have written more than that. 5. And these are those parts of yourself which are known to you. You are aware about it. Whether whatever you diagnose for the self may be right, may not be right. Both things are possible. Maybe you think you are hardworking. I, as your colleague, don't think you are hardworking. Say, for example, you think you are hardworking. You think you are committed to the class. I am, as a student of yours, don't think you are committed to the class. I, as a student or as a colleague, don't think you are committed to the class. And you think you are committed, and you have worked very hard to diagnose that you are committed. And I don't perceive that way. Are you getting? I don't perceive you that way. You are committed. You have really diagnosed very well. You have n number of examples to tell, to explain. You are committed. But I, as your colleague, I, as your student, I, as your principal, I, as your family member, don't think you are a committed person. There is a incompatibility. There is an incompatibility between what you think, what other think. What you think, what other think. And who is responsible for this? You or the other? Who is responsible for this incompatibility? You or the other? If you can write on the chat, some of you. Both, self, both, self, I'm responsible, self, I am, both, no, it's the self, it's you, it's not the both. My dear participant, it's not the both, it's you. You are responsible for that. That means you fail to demonstrate. You fail to demonstrate the element of commitment to change my impression. Only me. Only you. You fail to demonstrate. You fail to project the sense of commitment which you have. Other person is not your colleague is not your, unless until there is some hidden agenda. In some cases, maybe possibly to little extent, but largely it's not. The principal is not your enemy. The students love you. How can they be? Your family, your spouse, your parents. If you are committed, they should see that commitment in your action and behavior, which is not reflected. Are you getting? Which is not reflected. Or there could be possibility that you think you are committed, but in reality, is not a very honest diagnosis of the self. Look from that angle. Maybe your own definition of commitment is not as per the expectation of the society, as per the expectation of others. Make sense? May not be. Remodified. But if it's not, it's really the diagnosis you find it's a commitment, it's very strong component of your personality. You're committed. I'm committed. That's it true. In that case, why? The question comes, why the other person failed to perceive that commitment in me? Make sense? Yes, no? Why other person could not see that in me? If I'm committed, if I'm hardworking, if I'm honest. Then why? Is it that I fail to demonstrate in my behavior, in my interaction with them? Is it that? If it's there, it should be seen by others. If you're not perceived, the problem comes when you're not perceived that way. The other people have different opinion from you. And formation of that different opinion, you as a person are responsible. You never opened yourself. Who can change that perception? Who can remove this incompatibility? You or he or she? Who can change that perception? Who can change that incompatibility? Myself. I could see one green corridor. Myself. It's affecting me. I'm committed. My principal of the college don't see I'm committed. And most important task, instead of giving me, he's giving to someone else. And I am getting affected by that. I'm getting emotionally disturbed by that. Why not me? I'm honest, I'm committed, but I'm not perceived that way. Hence, the job task is going to somebody else. And that impression is spreading. If it's going in my student's mind, that's going outside the class. From the outside the class, it's moving to the community. The our students are the best spokesperson for us. They are the great agent for our information transmitting outside. It's me. So I need to make an attempt. I need to make an attempt to change that perception. And how that perception will come? Maybe I would like to go to expand. I need to expand my open area. How my open area would be expanded? By making self-disclosure, by sharing, by interacting, by understanding how I'm perceived. I'm blah, 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 blah. How I'm perceived by others. 5 qualities you are written. Others could see only 2, 3 are not. They are not saying you don't have, you may be having, but I have not perceived, I have not seen that. Okay. Again, somebody asking how we do define prejudice and bias. Again, we're going in activity. Let's talk about the positive components. Positive mental health. Rightly said by Nanda, saying only when we interact with others. That means you need to increase the interaction frequency of your interaction. If you keep everything near to your chest, you will not open up. You will keep like holding like near to the chest. Other person will also keep close to the chest. With that, what will happen? Which area will increase? Suppose I keep everything near to my chest. I don't open up. Other person also don't open up. He or she might open once and twice, stop after that. Which area of the 4 areas which I've shown you, open, blind, hidden, and unknown, which area would be increased? Which window would be larger? Anyone? Or the 4 window, 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrant which I've shown you, which one you think will be having a big area? Blind, hidden, blind, don't you think if I don't open up, if I don't open up, the vertical line which is shown on the slide, this will be shifted towards the left side. Don't you think? If I don't open up, this will shift it to the So this is a known area. This will shift it towards the left side. And other person will also keep things near to his chest, her chest. The horizontal also shift towards the base side. If other person also will not open, base side, the horizontal line will shift. Downward, upward. Horizontal line will go upward or downward. He is not opening up. This will go upward. Rightly said, man, couple of you, upward. It will go up. So the horizontal line will move upward and vertical line will move left. Clear? Which area will be reduced now? It's very simple now for you. Excellent. Vertical line, listen again, say vertical line moving towards the left because I'm not opening. Other person also not opening. So horizontal line will start going upward. So which area would be, window would be reduced? Excellent. I can see a lot of right answers. Open area. So open area will be, so things, I know things I'm not sharing with the other person. So other person also not opening, he is also not sharing about me because I'm not interacting with him. So my open area will be reduced. When the open area will be reduced, which area, another question, which area of the cell will be broadened now? Which area of the cell? If you understand this, I think most of the journeys have been done. Which area is broadened? Open area छोटा हो गया, बड़ा area कौन सा होगा? Which area? You shift line, shift vertical line towards the left side and horizontal line on the top. So open area will reduced and not the blind. I'm saying let's do once more this because this is the crux. If you understand, most of these things are done on this part. Unknown, no, you are coming unknown because when you're shifting, shift the line on have a sheet of paper, draw this on the sheet of paper for 2x2 quadrant and move the line on the vertical line towards the left side. Have on the sheet of paper, make 2x2 matrix, but shift the vertical line towards the left side. Horizontal lines or upward line. Go up. Horizontal line. So which area is minimized now? Minimized. सबसे छोटा, which area of the cells? Open. Excellent. Open. 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 Very good. So open will be smaller. Which will be wider? Which area will be wider now? No, you have reached to the right answer. So which area will be wider? The unknown or dark area will be. So dark area of self about you will become a wider area. You will not be knowing many things about you. Many potential that you have. Many of the competency capability you have will not be known to you because there is no interaction. You're keeping everything near to your chest, holding it like this. Other person will hold also like this. Both of you will change the direction. Clear? When both will change the direction, you will not be knowing what you are. You will not be knowing what the persons are. Make sense? So hence, your attempt would be to shift the vertical line this side, right or left. Your attempt should be to shift the vertical line towards left side or right side? Right side. Yes. You reach to the answer now. So our attempt to be, we have to make attempt opening up. We have to make attempt to shift the vertical line towards the left side. And horizontal line towards what side? Horizontal line. को किधर shift करे? Which side? Downward, 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 downward. Yes. No, you are reached. We are together at the same wavelength. Okay. So when I shift my vertical line towards the right side and horizontal line towards the downward, my unknown area will be reduced. Unknown area will be minimized. And my open area will be widened. That means I will be knowing about me. I will be knowing about you also. And you and me can walk together by holding each one's hand. Okay? You got the point? Or you need me to explain it further? Is clear? So attempt would be, and this is possible provided the communication should not be stopped with the other person. Communication should not be stopped. Communication should continue. And that will help you in building up the trust. The trust will be built up. Once the trust will be built up, then understanding will be much better. Then we can understand the perspective of other. My perspective will be understood by you, You got me? My perspective will be known to you now. So build trust will help you through the process of not stopping the interaction, but continuing with the interaction. And when you start with the interaction, my submission to you that please never start with the negative qualities. You have written these weaknesses, never talk about the weaknesses. Whenever you talk about the strength. Say, for example, if I tell about any one of you, your weakness, say, for example, I'm saying, it seems you are not interested. You're not interested in the lecture. Suppose I point out to anyone. Say, Mr. A, you are not interested to today's lecture. His answer would be, if I'm wrong, you can write on the chat. His answer would be to my assumption, my interaction. I'll say, no, sir, I've noted on each and every point. And then I'm replying back, but it's my 40-year experience teaching your class. My judgment can never be wrong. See what I mean? My 40-year experience teaching class like you, my dear child, my dear student, my judgment can never be wrong. I said, 40-year experience, 30-year experience, 20-year experience. Then what will be responsible from the other side? No, sir, you can check my notebook, you can check my file. You can ask me the question, whatever you taught me. Then I'm replying now, leave your file, keep your file with you. I'm not interested to see your file. Let's not argument. So what happened? After closing communication, I created a sense of mistrust. I created a sense of because I'm not acknowledging. I'm creating a mistrust. When the mistrust will be created, then my open area will be reduced, shrink. Making sense? My area will be shrink. But if I say definitely once I make this, I don't agree. I don't want to see your copy, your notebook. You think he's going to talk positive thing about me outside? You think he will talk positive about me? I'm his teacher. You think he will talk positive? No, he will not talk positive about me. He will talk negative outside. And with that process, my communication with other people will also start avoiding me. Okay, they will also start avoiding me. But say, for example, no, this was negative, say, oh, you seem to be pretty attentive. You seem to be pretty attentive. A reply will come, sir, your lecture is very interesting. So he starts talking positive about me because I talk about the positive quality. When I will talk about the positive, it's not negative, it's not there. I will talk about the positive quality, and the positive quality he will talk. I talk another two quotes. You can do it with anyone at home also. Do one thing. You just tell about three good quality about your spouse, about your son, or anyone with whom, any friend. Just take three quality. The moment you tell three good quality about him, he will give you 5 good quality in you. And you add 3 more quality or 4 more quality, he will add 10 more quality. And then stage will come. You can practice it. Stage will come when he will come and say, can you tell me some negative also in me? I'm interested to improve on that. If that time you tell negative, he will appreciate because trust has been formed. Make sense? Trust has been formed. So always never start with the negative. Negative we will discuss. First we will start with the positive. Talking about positive quality will help building up the trust. Once the trust, we say, let the iron become hot, then you can hit the iron with the hammer and remold the way you want to remold. लोहा गर्म हो जाए उसको जैसे मोड़ लीजिए आप. The moment is that he will say, you can do it. When I will meet you again after 1 or 2 days, we'll take session and again I will take session with you on last 2 days. I will come in between. You will see that. The moment he says, no, it's okay. You tell me some, Prakash, why don't you tell me something negative in me? Don't start sharing it. No, let's work on good quality. I see a couple of good qualities in you. Okay, you're showing the mirror to him. And when it becomes he become or she become restless, bahut ho gaya, please let me. Then that is the right time to hit. I'm making you aware. These maybe things, these maybe things. That means in the process you're opening up your quadrant 1, opening up your window, making it wider, acceptable. Make sense? Make sense? No, I will do one assessment with you. Let me just do one thing. Have a sheet of paper I write 1, 1, 2, 3 in a vertical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 up to 20 points. There are 20 questions I'm going to show you, very simple question, which you will answer, do a self-diagnosis. Then I will turn back. Meantime, let me bring my other PPT. I have a sheet of paper. Just for a moment. Just give me a moment time. Can you see me, my screen now? Okay. Can you see anyone? Can you write yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I think you have written this 1 to 20, and a very simple question I'm going to give you. Self-diagnosis you are doing. Let's read this instruction along with me. Simple instruction. Please read through the behavior given below. Mark yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 to 10, depending on which value you think best describes your behavior or your character. Read the statement which I'm going to give you, very simple statement, and mark on a scale of 1 to 10, depending on which value you think which best describe your behavior. A value of 10, if you're giving value of 10, would reflect the behavior described as being extremely characteristic, extreme close to your heart. 5 as being but close to your heart, that behavior. 1 as being not close to your heart, uncharacteristic of you. Clear? Clear the instructions? Okay. Now I'm going to show you the behavior which you describe. I put it by putting 1 to in front of putting 1 to 10, whatever you think describe. Be honest. That's why I said initially, be honest at least for 1 hour with yourself. So open and frank in dealing with others. On a scale of 1 to 10. Open and frank in dealing with others. Okay, second. Respect and accept others' reactions. Respect and accept others' comments and reactions. The first answer which come to your mind. 10, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, wherever, 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10. Least to most. Third one. Test for agreement rather than assume it. Test for agreement rather than assume it. Next, fourth one. Freely admits when confused or lacking knowledge. Freely admits when confused or lacking knowledge on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is very, very close to the heart, 5 moderate, and 1 not at all. Fifth one, keen to reveal own position on issues. You keen to reveal own position on issues. Sixth one, takes initiative in asking for others' view. You takes initiative in asking for others' view. Okay, let's go to next one. Seventh one. Open in describing feelings about others' action. Open in describing feelings about others' action. Okay, let's go to the next one. Makes relevant pertinent contributions to issues. Make relevant pertinent contributions to issues. Okay. Going to the next one, ninth one. You try hard to understand the feelings of others. You try hard to understand the feelings of others. On a scale of 1 to 10. 10 very close, and 1 not at all, 5 middle. Okay. Let's go to the 10th one. Encourages feedback on own ideas and actions. You encourages feedback on own ideas and actions. Let's move on. Openly affectionate in relationship with people. You openly affectionate in relationships with people. Next one, you participative and sportive in group work. You are participative and sportive in group work. Okay. I hope you are honest while presuming you are honest by answering this, because this is for your self-diagnosis. It's a self-diagnosis. We are not trying to score points on the other person here. It's for me. Let me be. So have that commitment with yourself. You will find a journey will be much better and enjoyable. Next one. It's not that I don't trust you, I trust you. Still, it's my responsibility. The way we do it, we remind our participants again and again in between. Risk exposing personal information and emotions. You risk exposing personal information and emotion. Is that most of the time near to your heart, or not at all, or in between, wherever? You are the best judge. Next one, you welcome others' attempts to help even if critical. Welcomes others' help attempts to help even if critical. Next one, tries to influence and control activities of others. Try to influence and control activities of others. Next one. Reluctant to let matters drop, presses for more. Reluctant to let matters drop, presses more. Next one. Displays hostility and anger when annoyed. You display your hostility and anger when annoyed. Next one. Encourages collaboration in problem solving. Encourages collaboration in problem solving. Next one. Spontaneous in speech and expression. Spontaneous in speech and expression. Next one and last one. Helps those in difficulties with expressing themselves. Help those in difficulty with expressing themselves. I hope you have answered all, or you want to see any one of the question again. Anyone? Presuming you have answered all, or let's go very quickly once more. Okay, your answer, you have given answer, but you may find any one of the answers is not accurately has been given that time. If you want to change, you are free to change it. But once I move further, then that will not be permissible. Okay, so quickly I'm moving questions again. If you think that, oh, by chance, so it should not be 10, it should be 9, it should be 8, it should be Y2, it should be 4, you are free to change. Quickly I'm moving by you. Another 5 minutes I will spend on this. Open and frank in dealing with others. Respect and accept others' comments and reactions. Test for agreement rather than assume it. Third number. Fourth number. Freely admits when confused or lacking knowledge. Next, fifth number. Keen to reveal own position on issues. Sixth, take initiative in asking for others' view. Seventh, open in describing feelings about others' actions. Makes relevant, pertinent contributions to issues. Nine, tries hard to understand the feelings of others. Tries hard to understand the feelings of others. 10th number, encourages feedback on own ideas and actions. 11th, openly affectionate in relationships with others, with people. Twelfth one, participative and supportive in group work. Number, risk exposing personal information and emotions. Fourteenth number, welcomes others' attempt to help even if critical. Fifteenth number, tries to influence and control activities of others. Sixteenth, reluctant to let matters drop, presses for more. Seventeen, displays hostility and anger when annoyed. 18, encourages collaboration in problem solving. 19, spontaneous in speech and expression. 20th, helps those in difficulties with expressing themselves. I hope you've answered all as honest as it was possible. Should I proceed further? Yes? Anyone on the chat? Should we proceed further? Can you answer anyone on the chat box? Okay, let's move further. Now take the mark you have given in response to each question. You are scoring yourself. Question on behavior, I enter it in the exposure or feedback column as indicated in the next slide, which I'm showing you. So make two columns, exposure and feedback. Whatever marks you are given, under exposure, it's a odd number 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. So these call questions, whatever the marks you are given, just write in front of this, in front of 1, 3, 5. And for feedback, write in front of even number 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Have you done it? Then add how much total you got in the exposure, how much you got in the feedback. Just add your score under exposure and feedback column. Anyone would like to write their score? I don't see anything on the chat. You seem there is some problem somewhere. Could you kindly write your score, total score and exposure and feedback? Anyone would like to write their score? Okay. Now you got your score under the exposure column as well as under the feedback column, right? Now, draw a graph which the way I've shown on the right side. Just have a graph on the right side, like here I'm showing. And now you do one thing. Say, for example, your score, just for example, I'm giving you, suppose your score on exposure is 75. So point is over here, in front of 75. Score on the feedback is 75. Okay, over here. Then from here you draw a horizontal line and then vertical line down to 75. Got it? Suppose your score is 75 on exposure and feedback is also 75. Or for example, exposure you have 75, feedback you have 50 score. So your line, vertical line will go from 50 upward up to the point of 75. Then draw a horizontal line over there. And then you can find out where you are most of the time, in the open area, blind area, hidden area, or unknown area. Got it? Where you are most of the time. that window, wherever your quadrant falls, that window is the most dominating window for you at this moment. While the open window should be wider enough. You got me? The open window should be wider enough, rather than the hidden, blind, or unknown. And that is possible once your exposure as well as feedback is bigger. So start learning exposure. And if possible, after this session, whenever you find time tomorrow morning, just try to answer these two questions. What you learned, how this learning can help in classroom teaching. What you learned, how this learning can help in the classroom teaching. Any question anyone having? Any question you have? It seems participants are tired at the end of the day. Any question anyone have? Should we close it over here? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, first of all, sir, very interactive and good session. I was also participating in that.
So you are also there. Oh, I see.
Yeah. And I think this is a wonderful idea that if they can analyze this and put it into their classroom context.
Yeah.
And
so
also
two questions they can work tomorrow. Tomorrow already they can work on that question.
Right.
And next session will pick up from there. We will continue next session.
Yeah, right. So this questionnaire, sir, we will be also sharing there in WhatsApp group, so that those who have maybe
I will share.
They can rethink over and then work again, because sometimes they are like.
What I will do, I will share both the PPT, the other PPT also, window, as well as the questionnaire PPT, so they can on the WhatsApp.
Fine.
Okay.
And Chirag and Himanshi, take a note. All these things you keep posting on the My Class, and tomorrow we will be meeting at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. There will be technical session for enrolling you in My Class, where all the assignments, the recorded videos will be available, the quizzes and all. So we will be sharing in WhatsApp also, but then they have to be finally submitted on the My Class for proper evaluation and taking you to the certificate. Fine. So I'm sure all of you have really enjoyed this interactive session. So you cannot say that if it is online, then it is just one way. So Professor Chadha sir, I think you have really done a commendable job where you are looking at the chats also, because that's how we also tell about the pedagogies that we have to be interacting. So, and communication, you rightly said, if we close the door of communications, then entire our self that gets closed.
Yeah. Neither we will come to know what others, neither they will come to know what others.
Yeah.
So that's we are increasing the dark unknown area in that case. That's what.
And I really appreciated this point, sir, where you talk about that when you start meeting new friends and personalities, you should be building that trust factor by highlighting the positive qualities.
Always start once it's positive built up, the next people will love it to listen from you.
I think the same thing we can embed as teachers, because in our students, first of all, we have to develop that trust. Unless or until they start appreciating you as a teacher and then later on you can scold. But in the very first, if you are like,
No.
oh, then that, and let me share my own personal experience without taking any name. And I was like, I think so, I may be wrong, but I was a very sincere student. And one of the teachers gave me a sign. I'm talking about PG level teacher. And he discussed that entire concept. He was a good teacher, no doubt. Excellent in conveying the concept. But then coming to this psychology, emotional conscience, he suggested some books that you should solve the problems of this book. And because he motivated in understanding the concept, मैंने सारे chapter छोड़ के एक हफ्ता लग के I solved the entire book. And after 1 week, I went to him or her and say that, okay, this is what I have done. And the very first remark, so what?
Oh, that's a negative.
That was such a negative impact.
That's very negative.
I never talked to that teacher again in my life. So these are, I think we have to really self-reflect upon that, how we have been treated. So let us not take the negative things in our system, and we have to develop, because वही classroom का ambience ही अच्छा नहीं होगा, तो I think the teaching learning process entire, such a great impact on the personality, I think. So I never decided that I will not be joining this teacher for my PhD guideship, whatever best he may be or she may be. So that type of things, I think we have to be really looking. And I can see some raising of hands. You want to unmute and please share something?
Some of you can, you can, I love it. Some of you can share.
Yes, some of you can please, because this is the time that we can really reflect upon and share, and then that also becomes learning to us around these.
Anyone, don't shy, open up. Stand your open area.
Because that's how we will all be learning. Someone who would like to get unmuted, Chirag, please make them co-host, or you can make the settings where all of now are allowed to speak. Chirag, you're there?
Unmute kar dijiye. You don't want to
make everyone.
Should I allow everyone to speak?
Allow everyone. And
allow everyone.
Yeah.
जो भी करना चाहेगा.
Yeah, allow everyone. So I think Dr. Jaspreet is writing. Yeah, Dr. Jaspreet, go ahead.
Ma'am, hi. Good evening. Good evening, madam. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Sir, it has been such a wonderful, enlightening session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And ma'am, I was hearing you as well now, right now. Sir, madam, I would like to share my experience. It is from my school days. I am from Sacred Heart Convent School, right? Okay. Madam, the same thing happened to me with one of my geography teachers.
One very humble request to all, dear. Let us keep the privacy of the person who has done.
Yeah, please.
Okay,
yeah,
yes,
please.
that is my humble request. Yes.
So absolutely. As ma'am rightly said, the ambience of the class, the mahal, how comfortable the student is, right? How the student is being responded or reacted to. It really matters. It really matters.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can I speak now? Sir, can I speak now?
Yeah, Dr. Prabodh, go ahead.
Ma'am, it's been really a very wonderful session. Thank you so much, sir. And ma'am, I have a very simple query. Like, it's not related to the session, but like, as you said that you would be sharing the PPTs and the materials and all things on WhatsApp. So I think like I'm not that much comfortable with WhatsApp. Like I can, go through and see, but it would be better if you can email. Like we have already given the email. So that is my humble request. Thank you. I hope you understood my query, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe this feedback you can give it to you, and my technical team will first of all try to help you in that front. Fine.
Yeah.
And
if you can email, that would be nice. But otherwise, mobile, ma'am, I have lost my eyesight, because
okay. So I think Dr. Prabhu, then it will be better that we will be sharing the recorded videos.
Yes.
You watch the videos. They will be even more convenient to you. Fine.
Yeah. No, I can do. That's not an issue at all. But sir, we have been like, teaching online for last 2.5 years in Delhi University. So like, honestly speaking, thank you.
Sometimes you can actually close your eyes and just listen.
No, that's not an issue. I'll manage. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Sometimes it's important to close the eyes also.
It is important.
Yes, sir. That's not an issue at all. Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Josna, you want to say something? Yeah, please.
Great session, very enriching session, sir. So there are a lot of people, just aapne bataya that they are a little close and kind of a conversation they do. And they don't tell about themselves, but they wanted to know each and everything, what is happening in your life. So how to deal with such people?
Basically, on the counseling scale, we will talk about this issue today for the day after tomorrow that we will talk this issue. Anyway, basically you open up because you can't force the other person to open up. You open up. There's all possibility the other person will open up. Open up with the positivity, positive thing with strength, not open up with the negative. Negative will come in between, but just stop it for the time. He says, hold on this thing. We will come to that. And other person will start talking some other things, not the things which are concerned, start talking about other people, let me tell you, it happens if we encourage that. If we don't encourage them, they will stop it. Right. So we should not encourage them.
Okay.
Don't don't make eye contact like that. One non-verbal will say, don't make eye contact. See, as you're busy, there are other things, so that the person will get a message from your body language, get a message that it's time to shut now. Okay. Make an attempt. It will help in that.
Thank you, sir.
So I'm sure a lot is coming more in the coming days in this FDP on different issues. Professor Sarita is also there. You want to add anything?
Yeah, I would like to say hello, sir. Good evening. Hello. And I have been really eagerly waiting the day I got to know that Dr. Vimal, we are having this, and she told me that it was you who had actually said that we can have something like this. So it was really, I was looking forward to this, all these sessions since then. And I feel that it has really been a very self-discovery path all through, since you started talking. So starting from the open area to all the questions that you have said, it has been a really self-discovery path for all of us. And we would really like some more deliberations on those issues also, and I'm sure we're going to have those.
We will have some more.
Yeah. So one more thing I just wanted to say while Dr. Vimal said, and also one of the participants, about the mahal that we said that there should be a that kind of comfort level that we have to create in our classrooms. So I just feel that there is a very thin line which I would really like you to deliberate upon, that where we are trying to make our students comfortable, then there is a very thin line where they may start taking you for granted and start, you feel that you have really given them a little more leverage than what you should have given. So I really would like that you should, also tell us about where to draw that line. And, if you're trying to make, if you feel that, okay, yes, they should be able to speak themselves out. So sometimes they become a little over friendly. And so where do we draw that line and how do we draw that line? So you feel कि अरे हमने थोड़ा ज़्यादा इनको friendly होने दिया, तो उस टाइम पे कैसे अपने आप को रोके?
मैं आपको एक अपनी लाइफ की एग्जांपल बताता हूँ that might answer your question. I had one of my friends, she's a faculty member. Women knew her. Her name is Dr. Harpreet Bhatia. She's teaching as a professor of psychology, teaching in Keshav Mahavidyalaya. When she was doing her PhD, there are 62 PhD has been produced by me in Delhi University. All in Delhi University, 62 PhD have been done under me. This student, when she was doing PhD, okay, and most of my students, practically, they were known to my family also. Because PhD student, it's a kind of one-to-one relationship. They become a kind of family member. And she brought some information of her data which she done on the field, which were not as per the proper instruction. There is a deviation in the instructions, and data was not accurate in that fashion. So in the night, when she gave me a call about 10 in the night, I was scolding her like anything. The छोटे बच्चे को scold कर रहे होते ना, ऐसे मैं उसको डांट रहा था. ऐसे जब डांट रहा, my wife told me from the other place, क्या कर रहे हो? हरप्रीत को ऐसे क्यों डांट रहे हो? She thinks हरप्रीत was बड़ी family member की तरह से. I told her, you stop. She like a family member, she come eat whatever at my home anytime. But when it's come to work means work. There's no compromise over there. So actually, we go very close to the students, but then we need to draw the limit, not allow the limit to cross. Once we allow the limit to cross, then they will start taking. They are the basically innocent kids. They don't know things. So that आपका फेस, आप प्यार कीजिए उसको, कोई बात नहीं, तो फेस में थोड़ा सा गुस्सा भी दिखाई देना चाहिए कि यू आर ए टीचर. दैट डिमार्केशन यू रिक्वायर्ड टू डू इट.
एंड आई थिंक सर मिट्टी के घड़े की तरह है, मोल्ड कर रहे हैं. अगर ज्यादा कर दिया तो ब्रेक हो जाएगा,
ब्रेक होगा बोल.
और टैपिंग भी चाहिए so that it goes in shape. So I think that balance has to be kept when we are, and there has to be differentiation, and there has to be
they are our person.
They are
the people who will spread the information outside. Okay, if you deal them very properly in a proper method, they are the people who will take your name outside like anything. आप अपने बारे में अच्छा नहीं पता. Person cannot tell about himself or herself कि I'm good. They are the people who will tell you good. They will say you are good. So that one should keep in mind.
So thank you, Sarita, for bringing that.
I have a doubt actually. It was an excellent presentation, sir. So how do you go about doing the graph? I couldn't follow that actually.
Graph, it's your scoring between up to 100 points. At the bottom line on the horizontal vertical, there are 0 to 100, 0 to 100 we have given. Yes. Whatever your score come at the bottom, suppose on the feedback, your score is 57. Say for example. You mark on the 50.
So exposure will be x-axis or y-axis?
Your exposure will be on the y-axis.
Y-axis. And the feedback will be the
x-axis.
So we
plot का score है, उसको x-axis में डाल दीजिए. जो एक्सपोजर को वाई वर्क, फिर उस पर लाइन हो जाना कि वर्टिकल हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन ड्रा कर दिए, वो यहाँ मीट करेगा. मीट करने से आपको पता लग जाएगा वो 4 क्वाड्रेंट मैंने जो दिखाई थी ना आपको, ओपन, ब्लाइंड, हिडन एंड अननोन, तो यू विल कम टू नो वेयर यू फॉल. ओके, एक्चुअल में तो 50-50 में होना चाहिए था, मिडल में होना चाहिए, लेकिन गोइंग बियॉन्ड 50, फॉर एग्जांपल 70-75, दैट मींस आई एम फॉलिंग इनटू द हिडन एरिया.
ओके. So if it is 77 and 70, it's in the hidden area, am I right?
It's hidden. It's going in that area. In that case.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more interventions or some queries if they are there?
I must be tired also.
Sir, should keep some time every day for sir. You please keep some time for these kind of deliberations because I'm sure there are going to be a lot of questions. So I think and those really help us, sir. Actually,
I'll make it a point to come every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think later on, sir, when we can have discussions, we all can be there, and So thank you, everyone. And still, if you have some friends who want to join this program, we are open for registrations till midnight today, but not beyond that. And tomorrow, you all please log in at 3. Tomorrow is off, 26th January. It's our
27th.
So we will not be having any live session, but sir has already given you some activity. You can do it again.
Assignment, they have to answer those 2 assignments.
And those you can work upon, and my team will be then day after. They will be at 3 p.m. You have to join on 27th. They will be helping you in how the my class enrollment you can do. Those are already on the platform. It is just in that course you have to enroll. So all that will be explained, and then at 4 we will be starting the session, and all the recorded sessions will be available in that portal as a closed group. So thank you so much, Chedda sir.
Thank you.
For entire team, Dr. Vandana, Professor Priya Kavar, all dear colleagues as participants from different parts. I can see so many of our regular participants, and it is such a new area that we are all.
It's a big number. I'm amazed. It's a very big number, of the participants. And
Sir,
only 10 days before, I think we just made an announcement.
Sir, that way. And let me tell you, sir, we have many FDPs where we have touched 400, 500 also. Yes. So it's all thanks to our very, very dear colleagues from different part of our country. It's a good network that we are growing, and we'll take it ahead. So bye-bye, everyone. See you after.
Have a great evening. Have a great
evening. We'll be meeting on live on 27th, and wish you all a very happy Republic Day. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.